Hey, and welcome to another episode of You Love Comic Books. This is a YouTube show where I showcase my recent comic book hauls, comic book speculations, and stuff from my collection. I have an awesome haul for you. I always have awesome hauls for you. That's what we do here at You Love Comic Books. There's some really good stuff here. One of them is some books that I got when I went to go pick up those Archie and like those other cartoon books. You could see that haul in my previous video. So when I was out of town, I figured I'd check out some stores in that area since it was like a good hour and a half away from home. Give me a reason to check them out, see if I can find anything good. So there's some stuff there. I also picked up some books from someone on Facebook Marketplace and just some books from some stores. Second and Charles. There's some places that I check out. We'll get into that in a second. So do me a favor. Hit that like button. That's right. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. It ensures more people watch these videos. It ensures people on my who subscribe to this channel can actually watch these videos. That'll show up in their feed. I would really appreciate it. Do me a favor also, if you have any questions, what you see, you like what you see, or just want to say hi, leave a comment. I'll respond accordingly. If you like these type of videos, you like comic book speculations, comic book collections, comic book collecting, you love comic books, that's the name of the show. Why not smash that subscribe button? Become part of the You Love Comic Books conversation. Check out my Instagram, You Love Comic Books. It's in the links to all my videos. It's where I showcase the comics, etc. Stuff from my collection, stuff from the hauls. Also, check out my eBay for toys, video games, comics, trades, etc. The links are also in the captions of all the videos. All right, let's get into this. Amazing Spider-Man 112. This is from a store that I find some cool stuff. It's like a toy comic store. I'll be honest with you, like I love this cover. I paid more than I wanted to on this book. I'm sure people would say this is a fair price. Got it for $19.99. It's like a mid-grade copy. I'll say I wish the staples were a little tighter. They're not. Not like cover's gonna fall off. But I feel like it could fall off better than it would stay on if I dangled it. But I love this cover. It is considered a key. I think there's like an origin of Peter Parker in this. I don't know if anything else goes down, but it's just one of those awesome covers. I love the 70s border. This is definitely, I feel like, one of the stronger 70s border Spider-Man covers too. Just the way he looks. I love the graphics and the highlights around him. It's just really cool. So, like I said, a little more than I want to spend on this, but happy to get it. This is pretty cool. This one was $2.99. Deadpool number 33, a variant edition. This is a Jim Lee variant. I think it's the artwork they used on the cards on the Jim Lee collection that he did in the early 90s. I don't know if you remember when Marvel was doing all those cards. There was a whole line of X-Men cards done by Jim Lee. And I think this might be it. And it's kind of cool. I mean, this was, I don't know what year this was released. 19 or 18? 2018, I mean. So, hey, that's cool, right? Just a new book I picked up. Mandalorian, number 7. I'm going to pick up 8. I think I'm done, though. I don't think I'm going to buy Mandalorian anymore after this. It's kind of silly. They're not giving you new content. It's basically, this is season 2, episode 7. It's like whatever. Darth Vader 42. This is pretty cool. We'll see. I think I'm starting to phase out of buying new books. So, I don't know. I might drop the Star Wars book soon. I think, where do I got it? Oh, Star Wars 42. Speaking of Star Wars, this is, I haven't read this one yet. This continues the storyline, I guess, of how Luke got his lightsaber. Or something like that. Transformers number 4. I haven't read this yet. I'm enjoying this one. I like the style they're going for. It's a very retro, indie 80s feel. There's something about it that I appreciate the direction. It's an interesting direction that they're doing. And I grazed through and it looks pretty good. So I got to read it, but from what I look like, I'll probably also be picking up issue 5. All right. Here's some more, stuff from the haul. So this is from a store, Second and Charles. This is from 2 different trips. So this is from a week ago. I think this one was $2.99. Uncanny, or maybe this one was $3.99. I don't know. Uncanny X-Men $4.50. This is actually a pretty good key. This is the first Laura Kinney, is that her name? X-23, future all-new Wolverine. This is her first appearance in X-Men after the, what was it, NYX? That's her first appearance. I actually picked up that miniseries, and I'm glad I did because I have those first appearances of her. But I'll be honest with you, this is my second copy of this. I figured, why not get this? This is total spec buy because of Deadpool coming out, and I think they're bringing the character back. The girl who played her in Logan's older, so she's going to look more like the actual character in the comics. And I figured, this is still a pretty good key. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't like the tonal shift was too much. I thought there was something cool and dark and edgy about when they introduced X-23 in the NYX. Am I getting the title right? Right, it was NYX. There was something about, like, I think they made it like she was like a prostitute. Like, it was pretty dark, There was like kind of seedy. And then, I don't know, they brought her into here, and there was like a disconnect. It didn't feel like the same character, and it seemed a little bit more, I don't know if the word juvenile, but still cool. Happy to have it. And that is actually a pretty cool cover with the claws. I feel like this is an homage to an existing cover from the past. And I think this is Alan Davis. This is a good one. X-Men Worlds Apart. I think they got this for $2.99. This is number 1. This is the J. Scott Campbell variant, a really nice Storm cover. Anytime I see a cover like this from J. Scott Campbell in the back issue bins for really cheap. I think this 3 is a really nice price for this. I'm gonna grab it. So happy to have that. All right, this is from another trip to Second Charles. I actually just got these today. Machete number 0. Sorry, cover B. This one they had for $2.99. I did have a $5 off coupon for this round, so brought down like whatever the math is. But it's cool. I mean, I'm glad I grabbed it. It has a bunch of spine ticks, but it still has value. I'd never even seen this comic before. If you guys remember the Machete movies, and from the Grindhouse movie, that's where it started as kind of like a jokey trailer and fake trailer movie. But they ended up making 2 movies. Minions number 1. This is a Second and Charles exclusive, actually. This is an old book. Going 2015. That's almost 10 years ago, guys. It's 2024. I figured, why not get this? There's a Minions movie coming out. This was like under $2. There's a new not Despicable Me movie coming out later this year. And, these characters, believe it or not, they're iconic. They're pretty much a decade old. And people love them. There was a guy I knew who had a theory. Because it wasn't just kids who liked the Minions. Like, adults liked them. And his theory was he thinks that people like the Minions because they look like pills. It's kind of messed up when you think about it. This is kind of cool. NFL Super Pro number 11, second to last issue. I actually did not know that this went to 12 issues. I thought this was only a 4-issue series and they just canceled it, but it went to 12. And I looked this up. This one was like under $2. This comic it goes for like $20, believe it or not. I didn't even bother looking up the last issue because they didn't have it. That's number 12. But this cover is actually pretty funny. Look at that. Wait, can you see that? Look at that tongue. What a goofy character. So I figured, why not pick it up? I love getting these odd series, these weird licensed series where the last issues of the run are always really hard to get and they always are expensive. I'll never pay the expensive price. I try to find them for under $2 if I can. The Legend of Luther Strode number 1. I think this was a bigger deal. That's a sick cover from, I'm assuming Trad Moore drew this. That's a sick cover. I figured, why not? Image Books, this might have already come and go as like hype or like potential movie TV or who knows, but I figured, why not grab it, especially when it's under the cheap. Spider-Man 2 number 1. I figured pick up one of these. They had this for $5, but again, I had a $5 off coupon, so this brought the price down. it's still, this one was going for like $50 for a minute when New Comic Book Day came out last year. It wasn't it's interesting. It was not considered a new free comic book day book. It was like a promo book put out for the new game, Spider-Man 2. So I figured grab another one. It's in really nice condition. And then I picked up this one. This one's in really nice condition, which is good because I wouldn't have gotten it if it's in it, especially with that black. This is the World Tree #1. This is the recalled cover. It says rare. I don't know how rare this actual recalled cover is, but I figured why not pick it up. I don't know. I'm sure the hype has died down a bit. I definitely want to read it. Happy to grab it. Like I said, it said $9.95, but like I said, I had the $5 off coupon, so that brought it down. So in a way, let's just say I got this for $5. I don't think that's bad. So happy to grab that. And honestly, never seen it in any stores. I haven't seen it on walls. I haven't seen it at conventions. You can tell me, is the rare recalled cover really that rare? I don't know, but happy to grab it. All right. This was at there's a weird retro 80s store not far from me in Denver. And they have it's all 80s stuff, and they have tons of Ninja Turtles and Transformers and Power Rangers and WWF figures and Star Wars, and they have some comics sprinkled in here and there. And I never see anything I want, because they're one of those stores where they're just going to charge $6 to $8 for every comic. Doesn't even matter if it's good or not. And most of the time the comics they're really should only be $2 to $3. But I saw this one and I was like, this seems like a big deal. I remember this character. I just saw Masked, I don't know what they called it, Masked Rider Shin. I don't know if they're going by that name. It was a different name. It was on Amazon Prime. It was interesting. It was from Japan. Came out, I don't know, I saw it fall of last year, 2023, believe it or not. This is a newsstand. It has a Power Rangers appearance. And when I picked this up for $8, I saw that it sold for $50 on eBay. So I was happy to grab that. Like I said, it's not really a destination for comics. I'm shocked they had it for that cheap, but they probably were I don't know. Maybe they just figured we just put the comics out for $6 to $8, see if people buy them or not. They're really more of a toy store and stuff like that. But I'm glad I grabbed it because this was not in a box. This was just they have them leaning against things. So if somebody were to move it, this thing would have fell. So they must have put this out recently, because I would imagine this thing would have gotten damaged just from people looking at the stuff. And there's little kids that go in there. This thing is near mint. This thing is in immaculate condition too. And like I said, and it's a newsstand. So really happy to grab that one. That's awesome. Okay, this was when I went to get those Archie books with that awesome Veronica cover. Check out my previous video to see that. All right. I went to this one store, and I couldn't really find anything I want, but then I looked in the Fantastic Four, and I figured they have a deal. So these were all $3 each, but they have a deal that says if you buy 2, you get 1 free. And since they were all the same price, it was $6. So I guess that makes them all, see if I can figure this out in my brain calculator. That makes them $2 each. That's not bad, right? Yeah. So this book kind of picked up a bit. There's a first appearance in here. It was it ended up in top 10s recently. I think what I love about this, though, it is a cover homage to Fantastic Four 49. I happen to have that, thankfully. The plastic bag on this makes it a little cloudy. But I've had this, and I got this when I was a kid. This is one of my only graded books. I was happy to get it as a 7.0. Fantastic Four 49. This book blew up recently. It's kind of funny. 48 is the big boy book. That's the one that everyone But then I feel this book over the years blew up because everyone's well, this is really the first full Galactus. It's Galactus on the cover. It's the first Silver Surfer on the cover. And it's just a cool, iconic cover. So this is pretty cool that this is kind of an homage. So happy to grab those. The woman at the register was 3 of them. I was like, yeah. I went to this antique store and nearby. It was me and my wife and kid. They went to go look at like record stores and stuff like that. And there was an antique store, vintage shop. It was kind of like a little hipsterish place, and they did have like a box of comics, and I was kind of crazy because again, just like I was saying about like this comic, this Masked Rider, where it's like everything's just kind of like $6-8. Like to me, they seem high priced, but then once in a blue moon, you find a gem. It's kind of like that too. They had these boxes, and it was like Dakota North, #5 for like $8. Really silly prices. But then I saw this for 10, and I was like, what? And it's in a newsstand. X Factor #6, first cover and full appearance of Apocalypse. I think he shows up in the end, or shows up in a cameo in #5. But happy to grab this. It's like a VF copy. Could use like a good press would fix it. There's like one little stress, so it's never going to be a 9.8. And I was buying a record too, so the guy gave me $5 off in the end. So that was cool. And then I saw this too. He had a box that he didn't put out. Some of them were priced. And I saw this. At first I was going to grab it. I was like, you know what? I really should grab it. Marvel Tales, Peter Porker, The Spectacular Spider-Ham, #1. This is the first appearance of Spider-Ham. Now, he does show up a bunch of times in, like, Marvel Age, like, little previews. Like I said, not a perfect condition copy. I think, like, it's got a little cover there, but... So, $5 off the total of everything. That was pretty cool. That's a good price for this. I mean, yeah, someone will be like, I found that in a nickel bin. And good on you if you do. I mean, I hope I find it in a nickel bin one day myself, my good gentleman. But happy to grab this. Always happy to grab another copy of this. And yeah, and I thought that was a really good price. So again, it's like a lot of these books, they were just like, nothing big deal, you know, run filler stuff. And he'd be charging like $8 for them. But then he would have like that first Apocalypse and then this. And I was like, all right, I ain't going to question him. I'm just going to grab him. Okay. Now, I got to show you guys some toys before I finish off the haul. There's some really good stuff. So stay, you know, don't go anywhere. Always stop by Ross whenever I can. And again, you know, Christmas time's over. It's coming past as it does, the nature of time. But they still get some stuff once in a while. These were $5 each. This is like kind of like modern recreations of the battle armor. This came out in 2020. These were all $4.99 each. So I was like, I can't pass these up. And they had Hordak. That's pretty cool. And like even look at the backs. The backs look like the way they did the original art and everything. So that was pretty cool. And it comes with a different head. And so does I didn't realize, so does Skeletor. He's got another head too. He's got a meanie face and a little stinker smiley face. Okay, and then we got He-Man as well. We got one of, you know, regular classic He-Man. That's like the face I knew growing up, those figures. And then here's the newer face where he looks like he smelled a fart. And he doesn't like it. But again, happy to grab these for just $5 each. That's pretty cool. The back on this one's cool too. All right. And then one more figure before we finish the haul. This one, it's funny. They're starting to clearance out their clearance. So, like, they charge $5.99 for their Marvel Legends, and I guess the ones they couldn't sell, they were like, let's charge just $3.99. This is Siren. Now, it's covering her face. Let me see. So, this was only $3.99. Again, they would normally sell these for $5.99, which is still pretty cheap. Well, try getting the tag off as best I can so you can see the face. The one, I would say the big failure of this figure, which is not to say why it's going for $3.99. That's still a crazy price for a Marvel Legends figure. It's sealed in a box. That's in nice condition. It's that she's known for screaming. I think that's a David Nakayama drawing, just like the Rogue over here. And you don't have an alternate head in there with her mouth, like, in a screaming. I mean, like, I think the Dark Phoenix has, like, a screaming mouth. So, whatever. Still happy to get it. It's part of that Bone Breaker, that weird character, too. So, that's still pretty cool. All right, we're going to finish this haul. But before I do me a favor, hit that like button. Helps. If you have any questions what you see or like what you see, leave a comment and I'll respond accordingly. If you like these type of videos and all that jazz, smash the subscribe button. Become part of the You Love Comic Books conversation. All right, let's do this. This was from a Facebook marketplace ad, and this guy sells a lot of comics. I bought stuff from him recently. I got the Alien Legion run and A-Team and the Awesome Defenders, that Hulk Thor issue for like super cheap for him. And he had Vision and Scarlet Witch both miniseries for just $30, and I thought that was a really good deal. So, Vision and Scarlet Witch #1, this is the first miniseries. #2, I think there's a first appearance in this. #3, I like the art in the covers. There's just something about old school about it. And then I love the cover to this one, Vision and Scarlet Witch #4. These are all in newsstand, that's cool. I mean, obviously, it's from, 60 cents, so 82. Not a big deal to get a newsstand, but still, I ain't complaining. But I don't know if this has any key significance. Magneto's in this, and he does mention that, he's their father. And I don't know if it was ever mentioned before this. So that's pretty cool, and it's a cool cover. And then, like I said, they had the second miniseries, which is a 12 parts for $30 for all of them. Vision Scarlet Witch #1, #2, #3. I have the first 4 issues, and this is I think the only newsstand in the bunch. #4. The funny thing about this series is, if you go to a comic store, any typical comic store, and they have back issues, and they have stuff from like the 80s, there's a good chance you're going to run into the first 4 issues of Vision Scarlet Witch, 12-issue miniseries, in their back issue bin, in their dollar bin, etc. They're pretty common. And I don't know if there's like a drop-off in orders, because let me tell you, I never see very rarely I'll see the other issues from the series, plop in those back issue bins. So here's #5. #6, The Mutant Who Came to Dinner. #7, that little stinker toad. #8, cool, nice white cover with Power Man and Quicksilver in there. That's a cool cover. This is a great cover with the Enchantress. Slaves of the Enchantress. Now, I feel like they never really did this character in Marvel. They kind of alluded that the female Loki in Loki series was Enchantress, but they never really outright said it. I feel like this is a character, they need to bring her into Thor. This is a perfect kind of character for the next Thor movie. They are making one, and I hope they actually bring her in. And that's a nice cover. Right, fellas? Again, they get harder to get after these, those first 4 issues. #10. #11 with a cool Spider-Man, black suit Spider-Man on the cover. And then the biggest issue, and the reason why I picked it up too, is because it's at #12, and this is like a near mint copy of #12, so it's really nice. The only major flaw is it has like a little tiny scuff there. But this thing is immaculate. Again, I'm not going to get it graded. Key significance of this book, it's the birth of her twins who end up becoming, somehow, some way, they end up becoming Speed and Wiccan, the Young Avengers. And they introduced those characters in WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness. It's already been dropped. They're going to be doing some kind of Young Avengers Champions type movie. So I thought for $30, that was a great deal, especially because there was a really nice copy of #12 in the mix. So that brings them down, let's see, 30, 16 books. That's under $2 a book. Now, when I was there, though, and this is what makes the haul, these are the last 2 books for the haul and makes it kind of crazy. I was like, hey, you know what, can I see some of your other books? And he said, yeah, go for it. So I was like, I'll look through his Avengers books. And he had Mighty Avengers #60, The Mighty Avengers number 62, featuring the first appearance of M'Baku from, well, he pretty much has always been kind of a villain in the comics, especially obviously in the early issues. In the movie, he's like more like a rival, but then he becomes an ally, and he kind of stays, he's like a steady ally. I'm sure there'll be times when, if this character shows up again, where he'll be a kind of a pain a little bit. He's got his own set of ways, but they made him pretty much like a good guy character. Happy to grab this. Now, this book has chilled a lot over the year. Like, this book was going for a lot of money. I would say this is a nice, we'd say like a low mid-grade. This is like a book that could be pressed and could look really good. Now, obviously, there's some color rub there. There's a slight spined, what do they call that? No, subscription crease. But I'm going to tell you what I paid for both these books. I'm going to show you the next one yet. So I'm happy to grab this one. And then here's the last one of the haul, of this mighty, mighty haul filled with wonders. Marvel proudly introduces Wonder Man, the newest, most dynamic surprise character from the world-famous House of Ideas. Avengers number 9. I saw this and I was like, I don't know what this guy's going to charge for it. And, it's obviously not in perfect condition in any way whatsoever. It has, a chip there. It's got a chip there. It's got a little tear here. This little teeny, look at that. This little tiny sliver is holding on for dear life. But, it's still not, obviously the spine. The top staple is separated, but the bottom is connected. Again, I wouldn't dangle this. I'm going to hold this like a baby. But this is pretty cool. First appearance Wonder Man. This is my first real. I think my oldest issue of Avengers I had was 24. I never thought I'd get this. This book again blew up a bit because the announcement of the show, it's kind of calmed down, but they are making the show. Some images from the set leaked, and that's cool. Happy to grab this. So it was to get. All right, I'm going to tell you what I paid for these two. $40. I would say that was pretty good. Not bad, right? Especially this book. This is, to me, this is, is it a grail? I don't know, but it is a major Marvel character. It is a pre-issue, below issue 10, single-digit Avengers comic. Key. I think the funny thing about this book, they're making a big deal about introducing him, but this guy dies in the first. I'm pretty sure he gets killed and he doesn't show up again until 130. He pops up here and there. They reference him. I think that he had something to do with the Vision and everything like that. But man, isn't that cool? That's pretty sick. And then this is pretty sick too. Like I said, I thought that was a really good deal. So yeah, not bad. So $70 basically for these two books, and then the Vision and Scarlet Witch miniseries. I would say that's a good deal. I would say so far, if this is my third haul video for 2024, and I think we got some good stuff here, guys. I think we're on a roll. I got another haul coming your way. I ordered a small collection of books. We'll see what happens. Maybe I won't show that. Depends how they look. Kind of take a gamble, sometimes. I don't know what I'm getting, I mean, I know what I'm getting, but I didn't ask the guy to take close-up photos and all that. I'll show you guys. It's going to be awesome. All right. So do me a favor, if you haven't already, smash that like button. If you have any questions on what you saw, leave a comment. You like these type of videos, hit that subscribe button, become part of the You Love Comics conversation. You're going to see a previous video here. You're going to see a previous video there. You're going to smash that subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Goodbye. Bye.